Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, steers are gone. I told you guys, as soon as steers are gone, I'll get to working on this project. Hauled them down to the sale barn last night for overnight drop-off. So they should be going to the sale ring right now. But, what we got going on here? Got a big pile of manure, or, in other words, organic fertilizer. Front pile here are sheets that are, a little messed up. Back sheets are pretty much unscathed. It's got the last section to tear apart right there. Got it pulled over so it's laying down flat, because Safety Sally doesn't like me doing sketchy stuff like trying to lean a ladder up against it, climb up, pull screws down. So I use the old skid bob steer. Got her pulled down. Actually, I climbed up skid bob steer up there, cut all them 2x after. Well, what I did first is I went up, pulled screws across the top. Then I got the first sheet off, pulled that down, which is the bottom sheet there. And then I used a handsaw and cut them freaking purlins so they would relieve pressure. Then I used said skid bob steer to get the first section down, pulled it all apart, piled up all the junk lumber. Then I hooked the chain underneath there, got him down, pulled over here so he's laying down flat. Now I'm gonna pull this one apart, get this all cleaned up, and then I need to move that 16-foot gate down to the end, and they can start getting this manure cleaned up out of there. And after we get the manure out of there, we are going to haul a bunch of lime rock in there to build it up instead of shale, because shale sucks. Shale's great for a base. You know, if I had to fill 3 to 4 feet, I'd probably, or even 2 feet, I'd probably put like a foot or so of shale. If I only had to go 2 feet, I'd put a foot of shale and then a foot of lime rock over top. If I had to fill 4 feet, I'd go 3 feet of shale and 1 foot of lime rock. Then just add lime rock as needed. But shale sucks. So anyways, that's the plan. Get this all cleaned out, get it built back up with lime rock so it's got a nice base in there. Got to get this post, that post, and this post pulled out, because we're going to get new posts, taller posts. And I'm going to order enough posts to put a post there, replace that one, put one there, replace that one, put one there. That one's going to stay. That section's going to stay open for right now, as well as that section. I'm going to put firewood in that section. But I'm going to set a couple posts in there so I can put 2x up between the shed wall and that post to kind of contain my firewood while I'm stacking it. And then for this year, I'm probably going to end up putting cattle back in here. I know I really don't want to do that, but this year it's got to happen. Prices suck on everything, and I don't want to empty my savings to build a whole nother shed this year. So I'm gonna redo this, big time beef it up in case we have another winter like last winter. This thing, it's getting each one of these rafters, I'm gonna get LVL boards to put on the other side of the post to basically double them all the way across. So, and then the header boards, basically that's the only one that's gonna matter, and this end one is the only one that's going to matter. And I'm going to build headers just like you would above a door, where it's basically solid. So I'm going to do that. And then the cow end down here, I got to replace them boards, which obviously you guys saw the one broke, and we're all really surprised that didn't break. I'm going to get new boards to replace that, and actually I'm going to double them up all the way down. And I'm probably going to build a roof off the other side, the same length as this, so there's enough room for all the cows to go inside. But I am going to use screws. I mean, we're talking some big like leg bolt type screws that the lumber yard carries now, to screw everything together so I can easily take it back apart if I want to. Because here's the thing, I had 3 different guys come talk to me here recently about, they do like layouts, barnyard layouts and stuff, and we kind of went over everything here. And honestly, he thinks the setup that I have now is the best setup. And he goes, the drawbacks, like I say, are the snow coming off this roof into the cow yard or the steer yard, and the rain. But he said, honestly, this is probably the best setup, and just continue on. It's nice and close, everything's right here with the flow of working cattle. He goes, it's the best setup. Otherwise, he said second best would be to build my new shed like I'm talking here this way, then having the steer lot from here back to that building, and then use where the cow yard is now on the other side of where the new building would be for the cow yard. Then my cow flow would still be the same, everything would be nice and close to here. And I do have a water line right underneath this pile of crap down a little bit that we could tie into, and we could continue down from there over to where I want to put my new stock tank or cattle water or whatever. But so all we would have to do is dig him back up, which is actually right on the corner. Dig it back up, trench over, and then do that, and then obviously I have to put a new line in, which will be simple. What I would end up doing is use my used 1/2 inch there, couple it to the one that's in there now, and I'd pull a whole new hose or whole new line through with the old one. And being PEX tubing is so cheap, I would probably run 2 lines at once. So I have one that's being used and one as a spare backup in case something were to ever happen. Plus, what I would do is I would pull through a cable de-icer. So in case it ever froze, like, that's why I abandoned this, because it froze underneath the ground. It's buried 8 to 9 feet down and it froze. So I would probably put a cable de-icer through it. And at the same time while I do that, I would pull a rope through there, then poly ropes, so in case the cable de-icer or anything ever went to put, I could tie something to it and pull it through. You know, and then you just do the same thing when you pull the new thing through. You tie a rope to it and pull a new rope through. So that north pad where we knocked them holes in, everybody's gonna say, well, why'd you knock the holes in that concrete then? Got 2 options down there. I'm either gonna put posts in there and build walls for bunker walls, and then I'll go down to like osteoplastics and get plastic sheets to put on the walls so the silage won't mold from getting air, or we're going to build a hay bedding shed down there and then make a silage pad over here and put posts all the way around it and gates on the end so I don't have to feed the deer all winter long. Yes, the deer, the thieving deer. So anyways, I told you guys when the steers are going to get to working on this. It's 11 o'clock right now. This is how far I've gotten. So I'm going to finish tearing this apart, get all this lumber piled up so we can burn it in the burning pit or a fire pit over here. We'll just burn that one night when they want to have a campfire. That way we can get all the nails and screws and hardware from the rafter ties and stuff all cleaned up. Get all the steel put in a pile so we can recycle it and use it for other projects like either calf shelters or walls for the new building, because honestly I don't care what the steel looks like on the backside, so I can reuse it for that. But after, now that the steers are gone, I need to get these posts pulled back out, get my wire cleaned up, get this mess all cleaned out. I need to regrade this all because the steers like to stand in that corner and they have it. It is just knee-deep mud. Get that all cleaned up, get this all regraded, get it smoothed back out with lime rock, whatever, and I'm going to pour concrete from the alley. And I'm probably actually going to go through the alley, I'm not for sure yet. But anyways, at least from the alley back over to here, to where this fence is now, and have concrete all the way between these. Because in the future, if I do build a building there, the steer lot is going to go from here all the way back to the new building. But for now, the steer lot is going to go from that building over to this building, and I'm probably just going to go straight across here. And square footage wise, from what I have now to going to that, we're pretty much the same. And I could always extend it out another 8 feet and come off of this post. And then there is another post in that ragweed right there. I could pour concrete all the way out to there. Then I would have a bigger lot than I have now. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. I really hate the idea of having them in this lean-to again, but like I say, with the way commodities and everything are right now, I really hate to go and blow my whole savings on building another building. So we are going to end up putting them back in here for at least this winter, but I'm going to extend that post up, and then I'm going to put a LVL on the inside. Basically, I'm going to double all these rafters all the way down. This header and the header at the other end that are going to be open, we're going to sandwich 2x in there. So it's basically the same as a header in, you know, like above a garage door. So we're going to do that to the two ends. That end is going to be for firewood. This opening here will be for cattle to go in and out. So, or I may set a post in there, just put a 6-foot gate in there. Because typically if I go in and out, I push them all outside anyways, and I come in from that end. So, well, that's to be determined. But cattle will be in here for one more year. So, north pad, I'm going to set posts, at least on the north side, and I might get the concrete hammer, knock one more row of posts out on this side, because I don't think we're going to put cattle down there. I think we're going to build walls, which will either be for silage or it will be walls that will get turned into a hay and bedding shed. So their biggest thing with putting the hay and bedding down there versus anywhere else, because I had mentioned in another video, putting a building here and then building lean-tos off both sides, put hay on one side, bedding in the other, and then cattle in it. Their whole thing is, if that ever caught on fire because of the hay or the bedding, you lose two buildings, basically. You lose a cattle building and a bedding building. Where if I built something down there, you have 3 separate buildings, so you're how did they put it? You're spreading out your liability or your assets or whatever. So that's what they recommended, and I kind of think that's what we're going to go. Plus, with one being here, it's just closer to the working area. So, but for this year, they got to go back in here. But then the rest of this concrete here, I want to put my combine heads on this concrete so they're not sitting over there underneath the pine trees in the weeds, rusting even faster. So anyways, I am finally working on this project for all those that were concerned because I hadn't touched it yet. Steers were in the way, they're out of my way now. I'm working on it. So I'll have this done here in another hour or two. And then the rest of the cleanup will just be as we go along. I'll get materials ordered this week. And basically I'm going to order all these posts. Order posts to do a back side of that roof. So basically it'll be 36 by 36. That should be big enough for the cows for this winter. And if we decide that just to keep on with this, I'll just extend on as I need. So who knows. But anyhow, and then order posts for the shed down there, or the walls down there. Anyways, enough rambling. That's what's going on. So thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you on the next one.